My name is Claudia. I'm the founder of Werable. I'm 29 years old this year, and I'm a fashion designer. Werable is an adaptive fashion studio, and inclusive design and accessibility is a big part of what we do and why I started it. People make swimsuits to go swimming. There are spacesuits that are made for people to go to the moon. My goal has always been to make clothes that are easy to wear and also still very fashionable. Pieces that pushed us and allowed us to do the things that we aspire to do in our life. What surprised me a lot when I first started designing adaptive fashion was I kept hearing, oh, this doesn't look like it was designed for a person with a disability. And I will always ask, what does it look like to have a disability? Around my third year in college, my professor introduced me to a friend who was diagnosed with ALS. So both her arms were paralyzed. And I remember thinking I am just a fashion designer. I only know how to make clothes. What can I really do here?
The whole process really started with Claudia and Amy coming over to help me adjust one of my garments by adding straps to them so I could use it to lift my clothes on and off using doorknobs. And from there, it really kind of blossomed into a collection of clothing that has different hacks within the clothing to help me get my clothes on and off. You need fine motor skills for dressing. Many people lack that, so being able to use your legs as another way of dressing is something that I think is of value for anyone with a disability, especially ones that are in your arms.
I don't think it takes too much time nor money to alter things in a way that makes us feel like the world is seeing us the way we see ourselves. So we were looking at effortless dressing, discretion, and also it being comfortable for the user.
All right.
I think that was something that I had kind of discovered in the process with Awa. I was like, oh, you don't need to put out brand new things. You know, you can actually cut up their existing school skirts so that things fit better.
Because it's like this, right? And her head sometimes goes in this way, so she's actually able to use it to pull out. Because it's Velcro mostly, so she's able to pull out. Yeah, the only concern that we have is that the Velcro sometimes, because of she might move around, then it doesn't stick.
Okay, see this part we keep the same, but then we do like a whole strip so that it doesn't require as much aim and it will catch onto the hooks on the side. Designing clothes and shaping them in the way that we have is not unheard of. What is really truly unique, right, is all the information, right, that we've gathered from visiting people's houses. Sometimes it's also just messages or even requests for certain kinds of designs. Like when we first developed the Wishbone bag, it was just a casual message from my friend Wei Song, and he was like, I need a bag. I'm using crutches. It's very frustrating to be able to grab my things with one hand. I thought I could hammer it out in one weekend. I really thought I could. 2-3 years later, 8 bags down the line, we're still finding things to improve about it. The idea is that you could have the bag on you, right? Say if you're off your bike, you get home, you're at front gate, you sling this over, you unzip it, and you can easily find your keys and unlock your gate. So little things like that we've designed into the process just from studying his walking gait and understanding what is causing any falls or imbalance when you're walking with crutches, which made it very important for your things to be strapped close to your body. People always say, oh, I'm self-motivated. But how long can that fire go, if you're self-motivated with no market validation? So going to Milan Design Week, it caught me at a point in time whereby I was starting to worry. I was starting to let fear influence my decisions. And that mindset was holding me back from even trying. And I would say having a team being exposed on a global stage, realizing how much people lose in this journey of starting their own business, helped toughen me up and thicken my skin. I want to draw lesser emphasis on this, so I think we should make this thinner.
Alright.
For that reason.
Gotcha.
We should keep the thicker lines.
Yeah.
I used to think also that like, how you're going around, you're saying you're a founder, but all you're doing is making clothes. And you're doing bespoke clothing and you're not making enough money. And should I be spending more time selling rather than designing? I think that is a sacrifice that I have consciously made. In terms of this organic joy of like just sitting there sketching and like thinking up the most beautiful or like fun experience, like I've really said goodbye to that a long time ago. If I have to give that up for anything else that the business needs, that my colleagues need from me, I will.
Okay.
Because this, you're overcomplicating it and giving it a lot of material, right? Yeah, if the constraint is that you got only one line to turn this into a carabiner, what is that one line going to be? And then you do a lot of them. Yeah. Which part? The trousers, is it?
And these are actually buttonholes.
The biggest eureka lately was, in the past, I guess I would enter conversations with a mindset that, okay, I'm here, I have a very clear mission, but then you walk in the room and you cannot control who you're gonna meet. You don't know what they want and how much money they're working with. And maybe the timing is just not right. And should I go in with my ask so big and loud, and I'm unwilling to consider anything else? And I realized that it's very often that we are wrong, but that's not a bad thing. I'm actually very glad I've been wrong very often in the last 4 years because I got more than I ever imagined or asked for. I don't think it's necessarily this path that is immensely difficult. I think life in general is hard, and we choose and we make decisions based on what we can make peace with. Dear Singapore, this one thing that you really want to do, but you're not quite sure if you do it, will you regret it if you don't do it?